So in this video, we're going to go over the battery review, and I'm going to show you how long it takes for this phone to power up. Some of you guys are interested in that for some reason. I don't know why, but this is how long it takes to power the phone up. I'm going to go ahead and keep this in real time as I chat with you. So the battery life on this phone, wow, it's impressive. I mean, I knew it would be very impressive. Reviews are going up on this phone all over the place because it is just the newest thing that has hit us. So the phone itself is overall a great purchase, and it is just it's one of those times where your man Jay is just like mesmerized at the quality that I'm getting from this phone. Now, I knew the battery would be good. Let's not front here. I knew the battery would be good. I didn't know how good. So this is a battery review, and I'm still in the infant phases, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the infant phases. I'm in like the first week of using this phone. But if the phone is, in my experience, phones are the worst for battery at the beginning of its life, you know, because it's settling in, it's still trying to learn your way. And I'm not even at a full week yet, but I've only charged the phone once in 3 days. And that's saying something. And almost a full 3 days, and we have a single charge, and I was able to pull down around 7 hours of screen on time. Now, this is when I do battery reviews, and you saw how long it took to start up. It didn't take very long at all. So when you're doing a battery review, you want to just use the phone, and that's exactly what I do. When I'm doing certain reviews. And a battery review is something that you have to you can't focus on the battery. You just have to use the phone like you normally would use it. And you know, for me, the battery lasted 3 days, and I got about 7 hours of screen on time. And again, I'm still in my learning phase. I just took it off the charger, so it's still learning. You should see there, it's almost ready to start learning, to figuring out how I'm gonna start using the phone. But you can see here at the first day, banged it out really hard. You know, really was on it a lot. So the more I start to use the phone, it goes down and down and down, because you know the battery got weaker about the third day. I was at like 20% or 17% or something like that. So you know, I didn't use it as much. But I think if you're looking to get this phone, you're looking at long battery life because of the processor, and then it has a big battery of 4500. The processor is a 730, a Snapdragon 730, and it has 6 gigs of RAM in here. And then Samsung's software overall is fluid. I mean, this is running the latest update from Samsung, which is the One UI 2.0, and then you have Android 10. So I'm getting the latest and best I could possibly get for the phone, and it's going to perform at its peak during this time. Now, batteries wear down over time also. You know, the life of them, the charges that you get, it decreases. Shout out to my man, Official Keith. Check out that video he did on the radar detector. I just bought my mount too, on a side note. And if you want to hardwire your radar detector, he used the plug and play method, and it's beast mode. Just ordered mine. So head over to my other channel, Mopar Family Man, if you want to learn about cars and look at Mopars and stuff like that. Anyway, battery life on this thing is what I thought it would be. No problems whatsoever with battery life. This isn't a very long, detailed video. This is just an update after going on 4 days or so with the battery. It's going to be a good phone for battery, folks. I don't know if you thought it would be bad. But there are some phones out there that have big batteries that are horrible, you know, because the software isn't optimized correctly. This phone is going to beat out several other phones on the market as far as, you know, how long it can last and standby. If you notice my channel now, when I do battery reviews, I don't so much focus on the screen on time. I focus more on how long it can stay off the charge, and if I need it, is it there for me? And that's pretty much how this phone tapered off, getting almost 4 hours of screen on time the first day. Well over, I was like 65 or 70% the first day when I stopped using, went to bed. Second day, used a little bit less, got like 2 hours or so, you know, fumbling around with a whole bunch of devices and stuff like that. And on the third day, I was at 20%, and I went on ahead and actually plugged it in. and then I pulled another hour or so, or I could have gotten another 3 hours out of that, but I'm not going to count that because I didn't actually do it. But I know that 20% of battery on this phone and on the A51, I was definitely able to pull down with 20%. I was able to pull down a ton of battery with 20%. So with this phone having a bigger battery, it's going to be even better. Trying to open up my A51 for you, but this A51 gets stellar battery with 20% left. And when I did it on this phone, I went on ahead and plugged in at 20% because I knew I could pull down another 2-3 hours possibly if I'm doing a lot of media consumption. But overall, you should be able to get upwards of 8 hours or more out of this phone with no problems. Again, performance is going to be great. You're not going to have any problems with that. You're going to have just a stellar day. You'll be able to make it through a full 2 days, hopefully, depending on how you're using your phone. Now, if you're doing a lot of gaming and stuff like that, I don't know how long the phone will last. I have done some gaming. It's going to be in another video versus the, well, it's probably already out at this point. When I compare these two for performance, you're going to see that the battery life or the performance on these are fairly close, closer than one might think. So with that being said, man, the battery life on this thing is what you thought it was going to be. It's great. And also remember, battery life depends on the user. I don't have as many apps as you have possibly. Like here's my apps, and here's my apps. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 apps that I've installed pretty much. That's it. And these are all the apps that came on the device. Plus I removed Facebook, LinkedIn. I removed about 3 or 4 apps. So, you know, it's possibly 100 plus apps on here, 110, 120 apps. You have to remember that when you're looking at the battery life on these devices. You have to consider that. So these discussion videos that I put out like this, don't take them to heart thinking that this is what's going to happen for you. You might be that person to pull down 10 hours of screen on time and last for 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Which this phone can actually do that. You can easily get 10 hours out of this, but you're not going to get 3 days of standby out of this thing or usage. You know what I'm saying? So, but some people have. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. So with me, the way I use my phone, I'll easily get 2 days and pull down 8 to 10 hours of screen on time, like a solid 2 days. Because right now I'm just passing the 3-day mark, and I went on ahead and charged it up, like I said. So I suggest you plug your phone in at about 15%. Some people do battery tests and they run the batteries all the way down to 0. That's perfectly fine. When I'm doing a battery test, I try to keep the phone to at least 15% because I know how the usage will be in that last 15%. So, because the phone is going to work less and still try to get you some peak performance. So, battery life for me, folks, I'm not mad at it. It's actually really good. It's what I thought it would be. And I hope that these little tutorials that I give, or little updates and stuff like this that I give you, help you out a little bit. Just discussions and just usage. I can only show this to you a certain way. So hope you're enjoying the coverage on the A71. Those asking about the S10 Lite, stay tuned. I'll probably grab that, but I'm really more focused on the Note 10 Lite to compare it next to the Note 10. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.